Hello, 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 hello. Yes, it's so exciting to join you again. And I said I was going to come on at 7, and I am on. And I want to talk today about this concept of proximity as a rule or as a tool for gaining victory and for gaining a position of power and authority and just winning at the game of life. So, this concept of proximity is very powerful, okay, because it is all about getting in the room and getting around the people or the person that you think can help you to get to the next level. So everybody has someone that they think is the person that they admire or the person that they think is doing the type of thing that they would love to do. So proximity means that you are going to endeavor to implant yourself somewhere in the proximity of what it is that you want. And it may not be a person. Your goal may be to be in a specific place or to acquire a particular thing. And so proximity is about you getting into that area or getting into that location. And remember, guys, that, location is everything. In real estate, they say location, 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 but it's really true that location is everything. So I'm going to talk to you about 5 secrets that I think are crucial to you winning at the game of life and to gaining proximity. So sometimes these places that we want to rise to or gain access to are not always places that are easy to get into, because if it's somebody who is powerful and influential, then chances are there are a lot of people that also want to be around this person. Okay, so sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge for us to get around this person or these people or into this area. So I want to start by telling you what some of the 5 tools and tips are that I used in order to accomplish the goal of getting into some places that other people might say, well, how did you get in? How did you get in proximity to this particular thing? So the first one is to be clear of your goal. Know where it is that you want to go, who it is that you want to be around, what it is that you're endeavoring to accomplish, and don't be general with it, but be specific. Because even if somebody wants to help you, they're more inclined to be able to help you if you are specific. Okay, if you know what you want, then it's easier for people to work with you. Okay, secret tip and tool number 2. Who has your stuff? Okay, so I always knew the people that I wanted to associate with. And there's the saying that my mom would always say. It says, water finds its own level. But really, it's this concept of, you know who it is that you want to connect with. You know who it is that has your stuff. There's a wise proverb that says, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. So how are we ever going to get it if we don't go and talk to the wicked people? Okay, we have to get around the people who have our stuff. So it's just very important to know who that person is or who those people are so that we can access them. Okay, secret number 3, we have to be strategic. Okay, strategic, and know who, where, why, and how you're going to get into this particular room or around these particular venues that may not be as welcoming to you as you would like. So sometimes we have to find other people that have access to that venue and connect with those people so that they can walk us in. Somebody said you have to hitch your wagon to somebody else's horses. The idea is maybe you can't go in through the front door. You have to connect with somebody else who can help you to connect. But there's a way. And the goal is to be strategic at accomplishing that way and accomplishing that route. And there's so many people that have used this tool and this technique in order to get into places and access things that they needed to access. So be strategic, guys. It doesn't necessarily have to happen the way that it happens for everybody else. You may have to take an alternate route. You may have to be strategic. And I'll give you an example. So in my story, I wanted to go to the inauguration of the first Black president or African-American president of the United States. And I knew that I was going to be going, but I did not know how. Okay. I did not know how I was going to get in. So I had to be strategic. So one day I was at dinner or lunch, I guess it was dinner, at the home of a very wealthy person. And I happened to mention to the person's wife that I wanted to attend the inauguration. And the person said, oh, you want to attend the inauguration? Just tell so-and-so, so he'll give you a ticket. And I was like, wow, okay. I didn't really think that's the way it would work, but I said, okay. And I said, thank you. And then, of course, she's told her husband that I wanted a ticket. And the husband, of course, had access to a ticket. So as a result, the husband told the congressman to give me a ticket. And I got a ticket to the inauguration. And I sat in the key seats, the VIP seating section, so that I could see the installation and inauguration of the first African-American president, which was really impactful for me. I felt like that was something that I needed for my own psyche and my own consciousness. So sometimes we have to be strategic. We can't necessarily go in through the front door, because I believe that if I had just said to the congressman myself, give me a ticket, I really don't think I would have gotten a ticket. Okay. So, and he even told me, the congressman told me I could have gotten $1,000 for the ticket that I gave you. So it's very important that we be strategic and plan and strategize what it is that we want to accomplish. And wherever it is that you're endeavoring to go, success leaves clues. So there is someone else who has already walked that walk. And so people say, well, I don't need to have a mentor, or I don't need to use proximity. I can just go to school, do my job, and I'll move up the ranks. Well, yes, this is true. It's not impossible to just go to school, do your job, and move up the ranks. But what I'm suggesting to you is, if you want to expedite the process, if you would like to move even faster in the journey, then it makes sense to utilize this technique of proximity, because it will help you to move forward faster. Okay, so secret number 4, he who talks first loses. Okay, so keep in mind that when we are looking at mentors and we're looking at gaining proximity to people who have already achieved the things that we want to achieve, there are a lot of other people who also want to spend time with this person. And so the way that we can maximize our time with this person is to listen. Okay, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Sometimes we're so eager and we're so excited to tell them about our business or our project or our endeavor that we're just talking, and we're not actually listening to the mentor and allowing that person to advise us and to share. So the secret here is to listen, find out what the mentor is interested in, find out what the perfect partner is interested in, or the person who you want to be around, or the people who are in that particular vein already. Find out what they're interested in, find out what their conversation is like, and then you can mirror your conversation with theirs. And that's how you move up. That's how you get that promotion. That's how you are able to 10x that business instead of just going the status quo. Okay, guys, so it's really important. And the secret of he who talks first loses. So I always tell the story about when I worked for an elected official and I had to advocate for a woman who needed housing that night. She had no place to live and she had kids with her, and it was a cold night, and she didn't qualify for the program that New York City offered that was like an emergency shelter situation. So I had to advocate for her so that she would gain housing. And I was talking to the representative from, at the time it was Mayor Bloomberg. So it was his representative on the phone, and he kept telling me about policy. And I understood the policy, but I also understood the unique situation that this lady was in and why she needed to have housing that night. And so to make a long story short, I had made the case and he had stated his side of the story as far as how she didn't qualify. And then there was silence on the phone. And there was silence for about a minute. Neither one of us said anything. And I guess he wondered if I was still there, and I wondered if he was still there. But then eventually, he realized that I wasn't going to back down. And he had the ability to meet this lady's needs. And he said, okay. And it was a plea big victory, guys. And what do I mean by that? I didn't change the whole homeless health care or the homeless situation in New York City, but I did help that one lady that one night who needed housing, and that was the goal. And so for me, it's what you call a plea big victory. It was a win. Okay. And so I'm suggesting to you that when you're in those heated conversations about moving forward and moving up, and you're meeting with the powers that be, and you're talking, there comes a point in the conversation where you've stated what you have to state, and then you're silent and you wait to hear what the rebuttal is. Okay. And the last secret Secret number 5 is he who is the most sure always wins. Okay, so that's a key secret. And guys, this is not something that I've read in a book or I heard somebody say. This is something that I utilize on a regular basis. So the person who is most sure of the outcome is the person who generally wins. Okay, so you go to the bank and you're looking for a loan for your business, and you're sure that you're going to get that loan beyond a shadow of a doubt. You know you're going to get that loan. And then the loan officer says, well, you know, we're not sure. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to give up at that first sign of a no, because you're so sure that that no is a yes. Okay, so you keep going and you keep going. And I could share situation after situation, story after story. One comes to mind actually, where I had a situation, and it was really near and close to my heart, where I was about to get in some serious trouble. And with this serious trouble, I had to actually share some information to get out. And the person who was involved with me had actually launched an attack on me, and I was not able to move forward in the way that I wanted to move forward. So I had to step out of my comfort zone and work the situation in an alternate manner or in an alternate way. And as a result, in the end, I was able to win. I was able to get the job done, but it was only because I was the most sure as far as what needed to be done and how it needed to be handled. And I knew that ultimately I was going to win because I had to. And there are so many situations throughout history where we see that the person who was the most sure is the person who won. I mean, war after war, when the British were fighting against the United States, the people in the United States, they were fighting for their houses. They were fighting for their own land. They were fighting for their livelihood. Of course, they had to win versus the British, who were just fighting for a paycheck. So guys, those are the 5 secrets when it comes to proximity. And I'd love at askarleneshow.com, www.askarleneshow.com, and tell me what's your situation. What are you working with? What are you dealing with that you would like assistance to move on to the next level with? And I'd be more than happy to share with you some advice and give you some coaching around what you need to do to move forward. So contact us. It's a free consultation, a free strategy call, and we will love to be able to help you to move forward in that business, project, or endeavor. Again, that's askarleneshow.com. And right now we have something called the Live Your Best Life program. And I'd love to invite you to participate in that as well. If you don't feel like you're living your best life right now, you are in a situation where you're feeling tired or stuck, or you've been through a divorce, or you've had a challenging year, or you had a loss in your family, and now it's time for you to move forward and get unstuck and live your best life. Well, this is the program for you. So I invite you to go ahead and contact us about that as well. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye-bye.